Hello, everybody. Welcome to our creative journaling series. Let me start by introducing myself. I am Asha. I am an expressive art therapist and I work with individuals and groups to support them in their emotional well being journey using art therapy tools. Now, the intention of this series is to share with you art based journaling prompts that will help you to build better self awareness, connect with your emotions at a deeper level, learn creative tools to process your emotions and thoughts. Cultivate self compassion and be more aware of your strengths, and also let go of some of those limiting beliefs that's not serving you anymore. I plan to release one video every week so that you will have enough time to practice these prompts at your convenience. Now, for today's video, we will start with the basics. We will run through what is creative journaling and how this practice can help us. We will also briefly talk about what are the supplies that you will need to do the series. We will wrap up with an activity that will help us to connect and be more aware of our emotions. I'm sure most of you are familiar with journaling. Journaling is a practice of writing down your thoughts, emotions, and experiences on a journal. Creative journaling takes this one step further. It's still about self reflection, recording your thoughts, ideas, and experiences, but with a creative twist. Instead of just using words, you use other creative mediums like drawing, coloring, painting, collaging, and even poetry writing, storytelling, photography to express your innermost thoughts and feelings. Now, how does this practice really help us? Creative journaling offers you a safe space to express your innermost fears and emotions without the fear of being judged. Now, for example, when you are going through a challenging time, you may have the best of relationships around you, but still, you may think twice before expressing your deepest thoughts and emotions for the fear of being judged. But here is a space where you can vent out your emotions, fears, or limitations. And this process of venting out helps you to gain better clarity of the situation. You are in a much better position to look at the situation more objectively. It is indeed a powerful stress relief tool. And in fact, there are lots of studies that indicates that expressive journaling can reduce stress, improve emotional well being, and even enhance overall mental health. Now, let's quickly go through the art supplies that we will need for today's activity. It's pretty basic, nothing fancy. First up, a journal or a plain sheet notebook, whatever you have handy. Here I'm using a smaller size, 15 by 15 centimeter with plain thick paper. It gives me plenty of space to express myself without feeling overwhelmed, but feel free to pick whichever size works for you. Next is a black color marker, which I use very frequently in my drawings because it helps to add a lot of definitions to the subjects in my artwork. Now, grab your colored sketch pens. These are great for adding details and patterns to your artwork. If you have watercolors, you can use them too, but if you don't have them, that's absolutely fine. We will do with the sketch pens. You can also keep a pencil and a pen handy. Let's start with the first activity for the day, which will help you to connect with your emotion and also to check with how you are feeling, because emotional awareness is the first step to building your emotional regulation skills. Let's get started. We will begin with a grounding practice to help us center ourselves. So, sit in a comfortable place where you will not be disturbed. Relax your body, close your eyes, and take a few deep breaths. Inhale slowly, hold your breath for a few moments, and then exhale. Do this for a couple of times. And now ask yourself, How am I feeling? What emotions am I experiencing right now? Now, take a moment to really tune in with yourself and name the emotions that you are experiencing, whether it's happiness, excitement, sadness, nervousness, anxiety, anger, or calmness. Accept each emotion without judgment, and do remember that no emotions are good or bad. Now that you have labeled the emotions, let's start drawing. I have already sketched the rainbow using a pencil, and now I am going over the rings using a black marker. Feel free to add as many rings you would like to. I'm also adding two clouds at the end of the rainbow. Next step is to assign a color to each emotion you have labeled. For example, here I'm using red to represent happiness. Another emotion I have labeled is anxiety, and I'm representing anxiety using green color. Similarly, you can choose colors that resonate with your emotions and begin filling the rings of your rainbow one by one. As you color each emotion, I would encourage you to stay with that emotion, acknowledge that emotion, and reflect on how the emotion feels in your body. Accept each emotion without judgment and let the colors express how you feel. Here I'm adding one more ring to create space for another emotion I had labeled. You can also do the same, add as many rings as needed to include all the emotions you have identified. Now let's add some more details to our rainbow. Inside each arc, you can include words, symbols, or even small drawings to express more about why you're feeling that emotion. For example, in my rainbow, I have happiness, where I'm drawing symbols of music to represent the joy I feel while listening to my favorite songs. Similarly, you can add elements that resonate with your emotions, anything that helps you connect deeper with your feelings and tell your story visually. Now that we have completed the drawing and coloring, let's move on to the final part of this activity, that is reflective journaling. Have a good look at your rainbow and respond to these three prompts. That first one is, which emotions are most prominent in your rainbow? Second, think about if there were any emotions that you found difficult to acknowledge or to represent in this process. And the final one is, which emotions do you want to embrace or nurture more in the coming days? Write your responses to these questions in the clouds of your drawing. Just let your reflections flow. Don't overthink. This part is about deepening your connection with your emotions and gaining insight into your inner world. So, this is a very effective art based journaling prompt that will help you to practice emotional awareness, because being emotionally aware is the first step to strengthening our emotional regulation skills. Now, when we take a moment to reflect and truly understand what we are feeling, we are actually giving ourselves space to process our emotions, to heal, and to grow. In fact, I would encourage you to make this practice a part of your weekly or daily routine, whatever works for you. And if you want to download a copy of this activity, you can click the link in the description. And I will see you next week with another creative journaling activity. So, till then, take care of yourself.